Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of SmugMug Live. This is episode 118, being streamed live on Tuesday, March 22nd, 2022. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you are in the world. You are very welcome to this show. SmugMug Live, as always, is brought to you by SmugMug and Flickr. If you're looking for somewhere to host your images online, have an incredible place to store your images and showcase them to the world, and have an e-commerce solution to sell your images to clients, then check out everything we offer here at smugmug.com. Or if you're looking to be part of an incredible photo community, be inspired, share your work, then check out everything we do at flickr.com. Thank you so much. It's been a few weeks since we last did a show, but thank you so much for tuning in. Very special show today. We have just released the latest One Day One Artist film on SmugMug Films, featuring the wonderful Chris Balladarez. And today we're going to catch up with Chris and my dear colleague Anton to have a little chat about Chris's work and the film that we've just released. But if you have any questions, give yourself a shout out in the chat window, post your questions there, and I'll feed them to Chris and Anton during the next 30 minutes or so as we have a little chat. So without further ado, let's see if my guests are with me. Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going? What's up, Alastair?
Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. And
Thanks for having
Anton,
me.
good morning to
Hey,
you. How are you?
good morning. Thanks for having us. I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good, good. Well, Chris, the film is released. Thank you so much for letting us make our One Day One Artist film about yourself. And you excited that it's finally out there in the wild?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I just want to say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to kind of like document what my wife and I and Jasmine go through on our travels in the van. It's honestly, it's a pleasure. So I appreciate that.
I think the pleasure was all ours. Anton, another film released in the series, and this was a lot of fun, this one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So much fun with Chris kind of traveling around a lot, just nailing down an area and a place we were going to meet up with him was probably the hardest part. Other than that, I mean, just tagging along with him and following him and doing what he does was super easy. And we picked a location that really like does justice to his photography. So easy stuff.
That was good. So, Chris, coming back to you, tell us a little bit about yourself and the photography that you do for those people who haven't yet watched the film.
Yeah, so I'm a travel and adventure photographer based out of, I would say, Los Angeles, but my wife and I, we live in a van and we're pretty much kind of mobile right now and traveling all around the world or all around the US right now. And yeah, so I like to shoot a lot of my adventures and document it in a photojournalistic perspective. So I don't really consider myself much of a landscape photographer. I always say like travel because in travel you're always going through adventure and landscape and whatever comes in between. I just really love documenting those type of events.
Cool. And how long have you been living the life of a photographer and making this your career?
So I have been around cameras ever since I was pretty young, since the age of 13, but that was more on the filming side. I skateboarded for 12 years, and that really kind of allowed me to use one of those handy cams. And it wasn't until about 4.5 years ago when I actually picked up an actual camera and started getting into going into traveling and documenting my adventures like that. And yeah, so it's been around 4.5 years now.
Cool. And I bet you time is flying by. Maybe we'll pop over to this site and have a little look at some of your work. We have a gallery here that has a lot of your work. Some of this stuff is actually from the film. These are the images that you took while filming the series. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I felt like that lantern was going to be clutch in a situation like this.
And this is,
And it
of course,
was.
featuring the main star of the film, right? This is Veronica.
Yeah, that is my wife right there. She's in a lot of my photos.
Yeah, some beautiful images that you captured while out making the film with Anton, and someone else here in these images who features a lot in your work and is who's a huge part of your life. Tell us a little bit about your fur baby.
So that's Jasmine. She's our little girl. She's a little Malamute, and she is very, very energetic. She absolutely loves being out in nature, and every time when we're in a location like this, like I just love to just let her loose. And yeah, she has fun. She loves it. Growing up in Palmdale, from where we're at, she doesn't really have like these type of like aesthetic landscapes to really go out and kind of adventure. So every time she goes out there, it's really fun to watch her.
Cool. And does she enjoy the van life?
She doesn't enjoy the long road trips because her type of breed that she is. Like I said, they have a lot of energy,
Hmm.
so they really need to get out there and run. And she can run fast. Like she's crazy fast
I'm sure she'll get
and very
more used to
talkative
it.
too. Remember
Oh, really?
Anton? She,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she talks so much. She'll be
Actually,
like,
actually, to see Jasmine out there was really cool. It was kind of like Call of the Wild or something. She would just
Yeah.
take off in one direction and come back, and then she'd be howling, and yeah, it was really fun. And
yeah,
for this particular shoot, I mean, Jasmine just fit in perfect. I mean, look at that dog and that
Yeah.
backdrop. It's, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
beautiful.
Remember when
incredible.
she jumped into that pool while we were shooting?
Yeah,
She was like running in the water and like she thought that, see right here in this image right here, it was pretty shallow water, right? So she
yeah.
just like running, but there was like a deeper part. It was like a 5 foot deep little pool. It was so funny. So
Just
after that,
disappeared.
when she got drenched, yeah, she looked all crazy too with like the little blue eyes, little
She is.
wolf.
She's
Yeah.
incredible, absolutely incredible. So tell us a little bit about van life. How did that all come about? How long have you been doing the van life thing?
Yeah. So we've been doing van life ever since September. We had bought it in May, and the idea was we caught, I was always sending out road trips, 700 miles here, 800 miles here, north, east, and I would come home for a couple days, and it was just like, all right, I'm back on the road. And it's like we just kind of like had an idea, like, why don't we just live on the road? How can we live on the road? So we uh we bought a van, we got married. Right after we got married, coming back from our honeymoon, we just got right into it and just started going into the van life and building that thing. We actually built it ourselves. And it was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done because prior to that, I had absolutely no knowledge in using any type of power tools. So thank God for YouTube University, because if it wasn't for that, I don't know what I would do. It was crazy too, trying to put the fan in on the roof. Like, um, yeah, putting a jigsaw in metal for the first time was definitely an experience I'll never forget, because like I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So um,
I
it
think
was something that, wait, what'd you say?
no, I was just thinking cutting into a new van must be a strange feeling
Yeah,
too, right? Just like
I know. Thinking it was
Stressful.
stressful, and it
yeah,
was stressful too because our lease was up at a certain date, okay, and we were getting married the day after our lease was up. Okay. So we got married. The next day our lease was up. And then right after we went to Positano for our honeymoon. Right after that, we were day one in the van. So it was like, oh snap, the real test is gonna happen. So we were kind of like learning how to live very from coming from a house, having an office where I get to work, into being more of like a very minimalistic type of kind of vibe on that. So it took a couple months to get used to, but now it's honestly it's fun.
It sounds like you dive straight into the deep end. I don't mean married life. I mean straight into the deep end of van life. From never using a power tool to rigging it all out and getting on the road. So what was it like to finally get on the road with the van once it was finished? Was it everything you thought it would be?
Okay, so it was one of those things where you look on Instagram versus reality, right? And it's like, yeah, we're gonna live in a van, we're gonna have so much fun, and we picked a very hard uh, season to go full time in a van, which was kind of winter, and we went up to we went up north. It's a funny story. We went up north to the Pacific Northwest, and we got caught in a crazy storm. It was, I guess it was called a bomb tornado that they had on the Oregon coast. And um, it was raining like hurricane winds and just winds like crazy. And we're just like, whoa, what is going on? So a couple weeks in, uh, you know, this crazy bomb tornado came in and just like kind of just ruined like the whole city on the coast in Oregon. And it was just like lightning, and then boom, a leak started happening in our roof, and we're just like, uh-oh, what's going on? And like it was crazy, and like it was so funny because me and Veronica were kind of like freaking out. We're like, what do we do? What do we do? And then I was just like, let's just go back home. And then she looked at me and she was just like, wait, what home? And then it hit me and I'm like, oh yeah, we're
We are
we're in
home.
van life for sure.
Yeah.
We are home. Yeah. So it's kind of like it was more like you got to problem solve. So the humidity
Yep.
was like 100% out there, and it was just raining for 2 weeks straight. So I had to learn. Thank God I built it, right? So I know where everything is at and how to maneuver around all of the things. So fix the leak, and it's just little things like that popped up in the beginning. And I'm glad we went through a little rough patch in the beginning just to kind of like train us
Yeah.
to where we're at now. And now it's just like we have like a certain formula, like, okay, when it's not a big van, right? So it's my dog Jasmine and her, and we both have our space and our necessities. So it's a formula. Like when I get up and get dressed, she goes this way, or she's on in that side of the van. But yeah, it's fun. You get to wake up, and the views are always worth it. Waking up at spots. That's my
Hmm.
biggest thing, is always waking up at spots, and having these type of areas and locations that I want to shoot at in front of us. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like what your experience is no different from, I think, every person I've spoke to who lives in a van. They've all went through that, the kind of run-in period of, the shakedown of making sure it's watertight and things work and,
Oh yeah.
everything works the way. So it doesn't sound like you experienced anything different from anybody else, but it's great to get all that kind of under your belt. So what I think I'm going to do is let people get a little taste of the film that we've been talking about. I've got just the small kind of intro to the film here, which I think I'll play for you all, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Chris's work. So this is the intro to One Day One Artist with Chris Balladarez.
You ready? You ready to go for a hike? Huh? Shake my hand. We got one day, so I mean, let's see what we get. We might get a good sunrise. I'm hyped. Oh. Oh my gosh, this background is insane. Man, this sunrise is just incredible. Being out here in Oregon, it's you don't know when you're gonna get sun.
My name is Christopher Balladarez, and I'm a photographer.
Just a little taste. Don't want to show too much. I want you all to go have a look at this film once we've finished having a chat with Chris. I've just posted the link to the full film in the chat here on the live stream, but please don't go watch it right now. Let's spend a little bit more time with Chris, and then you can go watch that film. And we would love it if you would give the film a thumbs up and leave us a comment on YouTube. We'd really appreciate that. So, yeah, just a little taste, just a little sneak peek of the full film, and it really is a wonderful film. Anton and I were talking about the film and the kind of feel that it has, and it's just a really nice, relaxing film to watch, Anton. I'm really enjoy just sitting back and kind of soaking in this beautiful scenery and watching Chris at work. So great vibe on it.
Thank you. Yeah. I really like this one. It's really pretty. I mean, I love Chris's energy and vibe, and Veronica, and then the whole van life. It's kind of just a nice little story, and of course, it was so beautiful. Every time we go out and shoot one of these, it's you have these different hurdles. This one was so beautiful. I just hoping to capture it in a way that you could see. You could reproduce that in a film. Yeah, it was just really pretty, and Chris was awesome.
I remember you coming
So
back after filming it, and you said to me, like, Alistair, it's so beautiful and the scenery was so incredible. I'm like a little anxious to make sure we could do it justice in the film. You kind of felt that way, right?
yeah, yeah, we've never shot anything in Oregon for this series or any part of the SmugMug films, and it was cool to find something kind of. I won't say it's in our backyard, but it's pretty close. I definitely would love to go back and shoot more up there. It was so green and so beautiful, and we got some really nice sunsets. And Chris mentions it in the film that when you're up in Oregon that time of year, you never know what you're going to get. We could have gone 3, 4, 5 days a week or more. I've never seen the sun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got lucky on top of that, because this was shot in November, if I remember correctly.
November, true. And yeah, before you guys came out there, we were out there in Oregon for about a week, and we didn't see no sun. I remember I was
Yeah,
telling
right.
you this. We didn't see no sun, and it was like that gloomy, moody PNW vibes with like the overcast. And I'm like, oh man, they're gonna come out here and they're gonna expect me to get some images. And I'm like, this is gonna be super hard. And yeah, you guys came in, you and Jay, and just we had incredible conditions for sure.
What was
Yeah.
the sort of reason for heading up to the Pacific Northwest, up to Oregon? What was the purpose of being there? Was there something specifically drew you there for Chris, for you to be there, and Anton to make the film?
So we were thinking either it was going to be a Southwest or something more green, and I think Anton and I both agreed like, yeah, we've been to the Southwest a lot, so let's do something different, something challenging. Personally, me, I haven't been to the PNW that many times, so I thought it was going to be like, hey, cool adventure, something new, and you got like Anton said, he hasn't really done anything up there too. So it was kind of like a great new experience just to see what we could do and create up there.
And
Those
there's a nice
locations were the first.
concentration. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, those locations were new to us. So what were you saying, Anton?
Yeah. Just that there's like a nice concentration of places to shoot in a small area. We could easily pick. There was a few lakes. There was, I don't know how many waterfalls were in maybe a 20-mile radius. So it was easy to shoot. And we thought, for sure in the course of a day, we could hit 2, 3, even 4 locations and, hope for the best. But, that's one of the things with all these films is, are there multiple places in a small geographic area? Yeah, right outside of Bend.
Oh.
Bend, we just headed west, and man, it was beautiful.
Yeah, struck gold.
And then we got bombed on by all that rain. That was crazy.
Yeah, which was nice. It's a nice little vibe. Of course, you want some rain up there, add some mood and some.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you got some incredible footage, Anton. Just the film looks absolutely stunning. We've been sharing over the last week some cool reels on our SmugMug Films Instagram account. So if you're watching this and you haven't checked out SmugMug Films on Instagram, go find us over there and check out some of the reels. There's one particular reel that people have been loving, Anton, and it's your crazy drone flying again, where you kind of back out over a waterfall through trees, and then you end up with kind of Chris in the foreground there. So yeah, you do like to fly your drone in crazy places.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
I like to fly it sometimes like a steady cam, and that's what you're thinking, it's just not so high or above things, but in things. And in forests, the cool thing about a drone is you can get aerial shots that are like under the canopy but over the ground, shots that you can never capture with like a traditional helicopter, of course. So when we started first flying drones, just those kind of unique shots under things and above things and flying through, and kind of that reveal is really cool. And we just happened to be in a spot where it was really pretty. I mean, it was the waterfall and these logs and roots, and then Veronica was on that log that had fallen over, and he was taking a photo of
That was
her.
epic.
And yeah, it was just really cool.
Yeah. And when you're kind of low with the drone like that, and you've got canopies and trees, as you say, the reveal is exaggerated so much because it's right next to the eye line in a way. So as you back out over that, past the waterfall through the trees, just this cinematic feel is really kind of exaggerated by being fairly low to the ground with the drone.
Yeah, and of course, like most shoots, we almost crashed it a few times, but
Yeah.
we haven't crashed a drone in quite a while.
Yeah, I
But
think it
you
has.
never know.
Yeah, we're maybe
It's
jinxing
bound to
it,
happen doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it's bound to happen, but it's worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, the production
Oh,
value
for
that
sure.
drones bring, they're expendable, and as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned, you know.
but yeah, as long
So
as you get the footage back, that's the main thing.
yeah, that's if you can
Right.
get the footage back.
We
Unless
were
if it's at the bottom of a lake,
Yeah,
then
we were talking
that's
to some of our marketing team yesterday, and we've been making SmugMug films for 10 years now, and we reckon we'd lost somewhere like 4 drones, and I said four drones and counting, and they said that makes it sound like you'll lose more, and I was like, yeah, of course, you have to assume you're going to lose more.
right.
Every time
If
you
you're
fly
not
a
losing
drone,
them,
yeah,
you're not trying. That's me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Anton, I
But
think
the
after shooting with you and watching you how you use the drone, I started pushing my drone a lot more, like in crazier places like that, because I never thought
yeah.
about flying it next that close to, the trees that you had it to. I was looking at you, I was like, what? This is insane.
yeah,
You know, if you line yourself up correctly, you can do it without too much risk. But before we go further, though, I have to give a shout out to Jay Ford. He helped me shoot this film also, and
yeah,
yeah, got a lot of great cinematography from Jay. And
Yeah,
from our
Jay's
viewers, Jay
amazing.
Ford, we've done a film with him a year and a half ago.
yep. You'll find
So
it right here
Yeah,
on this
you killed
channel.
that too, Anton.
yeah,
That was an amazing video too. Like
honestly,
Jay is one of my best friends, and honestly, seeing that, like, it brought a tear to my eye because like I have so much love for him, and you really captured his story like phenomenal.
Yeah,
yeah, and just
if you
hanging
haven't
out with
seen
you
it,
guys.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
For those of you who are watching, if you haven't seen Jay's film, if you're joining us on YouTube, you can find it right here in this channel that you're watching us with. If you're watching just now on Facebook, then head over to the SmugMug YouTube channel, and you'll be able to search through our whole playlist, our 10-year back catalogue of SmugMug films. Doesn't feel that long, Anton. We should do something
No,
to celebrate.
not
But
at our age.
yeah, at our age, it's like a blink of an eye. So yeah, it's cool. But yeah, fly your drones like you're going to lose them. So the let's talk a little bit about your work. So you're doing the van life thing. You're traveling. I'm sure a lot of people are curious about how you pay the bills, how photography, this lifestyle that you have of being on the road and photographing, how that kind of connects with the type of work that you do and your client base. How does that all come together?
Yeah, so I work with pretty much a lot of tourism boards, and I'm contracted with the W Hotel too out here in Hollywood and Beverly Hills. So anytime they do need some work out there, we do stuff like that. I sell a lot of prints as well, and yeah, right now, it's starting to pick up. From COVID, it was slowing down a little bit, so I was just only making money from prints. So now it's starting to pick up, and I'm starting to do a little bit more brand outreach. And um, although we live in the van right now, we are trying to find a way to kind of ship the van in a different country and kind of, venture out there and see where that will take us. Um, just have our mindset pretty much open to anything right now.
Open to opportunities, yeah. Shipping the van,
Mm-hmm.
moving around is cool, and it's just great that you've kind of connected your your style of photography, your lifestyle with a client base that just kind of connects on the same level and loves the imagery that you create and that type of stuff. So yeah, it's good. Can't wait to see what you create next. What is your next adventure? Where are you off to next?
So we actually have another P&W. Well, this one's not going to be just Oregon, but it's going to be a Washington this weekend, actually. We're shooting a campaign for Cruise America. And so basically, what we do in the van, they kind of want to have Veronica and I document our adventures and kind of just show the aesthetic of living or traveling in a Cruise America van. So we're going to go head up to Washington, and I know that's your neck of the woods, right, Anton? Washington?
No, I'm down
No,
opposite.
San
I'm
Diego.
down in San Diego.
Yeah.
oh, you're in San Diego now, but you're more, aren't you from up north?
No, the Bay Area. I was from
No?
San
Okay.
Francisco.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna be out there trying to find some campsites out there on the beach and see what we can create.
Cool. And do you use your
Nice.
own van for that work, or do they supply you with one of their
No,
vans?
so they're gonna be giving us a new one
Right.
that they want kind of
Showcased.
photographed and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah, so they'll be giving us a new one, and I
Don't
think this one
don't
might be a little bit bigger than our rig,
don't drill holes in the don't take your toolkit and drill holes in the roof.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I think
Um,
this one might be a little bit bigger too. So yeah, driving a bigger rig, because
cool.
coming from just a little Ford Escape to a van was already big. So this one might be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and I guess your job for that client's to sell the dream, right? Showcase
Yes.
what it's like and sell that dream to people and have them enjoy that lifestyle too. While we're talking, there's some real fun comments coming up in the chat, but I want to give some people a shout out. There's people from all over the world tuning in. So I am Mr. Seb is tuning in from Berlin in Germany. How you doing? We've got Raymond joining from Netherlands. Good to see you, Raymond.
Nice.
Wolverine Warren. Good day, everyone. Tuning in from New Mexico. Where else have we got? We've got Connie, who's in Indiana. Richard, who's in Malta. Beautiful part of the world. Love
Wow.
Malta. And then here's a nice shout out here. Miguel says, Chris and Jay are legends.
Miguel.
There you go. So thank you, Miguel, for
Love that
that.
dude.
And then Renee says, if anybody can sell the dream, Chris can. So there you
Love
go.
you, Renee.
Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for tuning in and giving us those comments. I think we'll wrap things up there for today and let people go watch the film. I'll make sure the link is in the description of this live stream. It's in the chat. Go give the film a watch. Please give us a thumbs up here on the live stream and on the film. Make sure you subscribe to the live stream. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. That way you'll be notified whenever we release another episode here on SmugMug Live, or indeed one of our SmugMug films. So that's really important that you hit those bells and notifications. We really appreciate it. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Chris, thank you
Absolutely.
for giving us the honor of telling this little story about yourself, and hopefully we get to do some more cool things together in the future and tell some more stories.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
And
so
yeah,
much.
thank you so much, Chris. It was awesome. We had such a good time. Just watching Chris and his enthusiasm for it, and his dedication. I mean, his imagery is awesome, and we would never have documented him without that too. I didn't even say how good he is at this. He's getting better and better. And when you see these guys doing what they do, getting up super early, standing there in the cold, they're almost like hunters, they're just so dedicated. Chris is
Yeah.
dedicated to this. He doesn't care if it's raining or if it's, sunrise, sunset throughout the night. Just he's into it, and that's inspiring, and I love that. And that's why it was easy to make this film. So
Wonderful. Right, Chris, wherever
Thanks,
your
Anton.
travels take you next, stay safe and good hunting, as Anton says. Hope it all goes all goes
Yeah.
well for you. Folks, wherever you're tuning in from today, thank you so much for giving us the time to watch this episode. Go check out the film, check out the other films and content we have here on the channel. But wherever you are, stay safe, be kind, look after each other, and we'll see you back here for another episode of SmugMug Live very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Are we